Hello, fellow truckers, and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. We are in Oregon, heading on our way over here to pick up a load of cars, headed for, I don't remember, I think it's over towards the coast. We'll check out the load when we pick it up, but, you know, I'm trying to decide when I'm going to bring you guys in for these videos, and we're trying something different today. Rather than waiting until we're already in the yard, we'll just go ahead and wait till we're sort of close so I can get my intro done. We can hop into the yard and do all of that kind of cool stuff. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos. I know that for the most part, you know, the Truck Simulator game doesn't really have too much going on. How much fuel do we have? We might want to stop for fuel, but I can't stop on this side anyway. Is there gas on the other side? Oh, you know what? I need to check and see how much fatigue I have. I think we're probably okay. Alright, yeah, let's stop for fuel real quick. We'll grab this and then head over and pick up our load. No, it's not the most interesting thing in the world to stop for gas, but, you know, it is an integral part of the game. So we'll grab gas here real quick. We'll go pick up our load of cars and then head out to, it's over towards the coast. I don't remember exactly where it was, but it's over there by the coast. Alright, got ourselves filled up on fuel, which is always a good... Oop, too fast, don't hit it. Okay, there we go. I'm in a slight bit of a hurry because, you know... Oh, wait. Is it? Okay, it's right here. I was looking over my map and I was like, oh, my GPS directions went away. Alright, let's grab this here. It's going to be one of these loads of cars. We are taking a load of cars from here in Bend, Oregon to Astoria. So we'll take this job, find the load in the lot here. Where does the map say that it is? Over in the corner? I don't see it. Is it around back? Oh, it's right here. I didn't see the little thingy there, so it was kind of hard. Okay, so we'll stop there. We'll get our control camera stuff turned off. I generally try to. I've decided to kind of just use the in-game camera system rather than head tracking because the head tracking gets a little obnoxious sometimes. And having a fixed point of reference when you set your camera somewhere is actually pretty helpful. Did we get it? Yep, we did. Okay, I wasn't sure. I didn't see any of the, I didn't see the little twirly thing that shows you that you got the trailer hooked up, so I wasn't sure. We are taking a right turn out of here. Get ourselves nice and wide to make sure that trailer doesn't hit anything, and away we go. So the in-game time for this is about 4.5 hours, which I'm gonna guess is probably about 15 minutes or so, something like that. Try to make sure we're not speeding. The speed limit through here is 35 miles an hour. But as I said, I hope you guys have been enjoying the series, those of you who come back and return. Those of you who are new here, the format is basically I drive and talk for 20 to 30 minutes. And hopefully that conversation ends up being interesting enough to make up for the fact that, you know, while the trucks are cool and the driving is cool, not exactly the most riveting content in the world, and the only way to make up for that is to kind of make you guys feel like we're all just kind of hanging out in the car together, having a conversation while we drive down the road. Seems to kind of work out pretty okay. Speed limit here is 45, though, so I need to... oh. Is it still set to... oh, I need to fix that. That's a problem. There's your problem. Because I was using... I've been trying various different control schemes out. I was actually using my joystick with the twist motion to steer for a while, but after a little bit that started hurting my shoulder, my body's starting to fall apart, and it's not exactly the most fun thing in the world. And I'm just, you know, I'm just chilling here on the controller at this point. I do have, in the description, you probably saw that there's a flight yoke and rudder pedals listed as, you know, things that you can buy through the Amazon affiliate link that I have, and that's what I was using before, and I'll probably get back to it, but I'm kind of in a place right now where I just want to kind of chill while I'm doing these and be as comfortable as I can be. And my trusty 20-year-old PlayStation 3 controller It seems to do the job pretty okay. It gets a little twitchy sometimes because it doesn't have the same range of motion as, say, the steering wheel, the flight yoke does, but for the most part, it seems like I can make it work. It's relatively intuitive to use, and I don't have to struggle too much to drive this way. So, and I can just have my hands just sitting here in my lap because the controller is small enough to just kind of chill there. So let's get back. Ooh, oh, ow, no, okay, yeah, that's a problem. How much did I just got charged for speeding, and ooh, I guess we're on back roads here. All right, I'm a little frazzled, I guess. I don't know why. I really shouldn't be. There's not much going on, other than the fact that my control setup is not set up the way I want it for using a controller. So that, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to change it because I don't know. I still haven't decided where I'm going to settle on the controller thing. It's kind of setting up my flight yoke and my pedals takes a little bit of time, and then it also forces me to have to sit in a single position for a long period of time, just like when you're in the car, because you have to have your feet on the pedals, or at least by the pedals, and the steering wheel, you can't move it around. So if I want to shift my position or sit up more straight or any of those things, yeah, I really need to set. I'll be right back. I don't need to be right back. By the time I get in here and do this, I'll be done fixing it. I need to put my cruise control settings back on the number keys. Back on the number keys so that I can make sure... Not on the number keys, I'm sorry. Back on the arrow keys so that I can use my right hand to do that and be able to continue steering as I set up my cruise control. Because as you just saw, I had to use my left hand to use the keys that it was on before, and I lost complete control of all of my steering. And that's not a good thing. You want to maintain control of your vehicle at all times, especially when you're driving, you know, 50, 60, 90,000 pounds of stuff down the road. Not exactly a good idea to be out of control. So, I don't know what I want to talk about today. I'm hoping we'll eventually get to the point where you guys start leaving me comments of saying, hey, you should talk about this in your next episode. And while I'm open to suggestions, I am open to suggestions of things that we can talk about as we drive down the road. I will not talk about politics, and I will not talk about religion, because I'm not trying to get on here and alienate half my audience. So I'm sure if you guys decide to leave comments, some of you are still going to ask me to talk about those things, you know, assuming you're at all interested in my opinion. But yeah, I'm not going to talk about things that are extremely polarizing, because this is a gaming channel and I'm not here to force my politics on you. And YouTube just doesn't take kindly to that kind of content unless you're that kind of a channel and you have enough of a following that they can't cancel you. So there's that as well. And that, you know, regardless of which side of the aisle you stand on, if you say certain things, they're not going to be happy. YouTube itself is not going to be happy with you, and they're going to find ways to either limit your voice or, you know, this is a gaming channel. I'm not here to make people angry. This is a place for us to come to have fun, to escape, and all that stuff. So, yeah. I will say, I kind of thought about something. Me and my wife have started watching bull riding lately, professional bull riding, PBR events and some other things. We've been watching it on YouTube, and we're actually kind of starting to get into it a little bit. I don't really know too much about bull riding, but, you know, over the last couple of weeks, as we've sat down and, you know, watched a bunch of videos, it's been kind of cool to sit here and watch how it works, how the scoring works. You know, start rooting for some of the guys. You know, we already have a couple of favorites, but you know, one of those things where you don't know that you're going to be into it until you try it out. And I don't know. I don't even know how bull riding came up as something that we were going to start watching. Like, I don't even remember. I don't know if I watched a video and then I shared it with her, or I don't know. Like, it's one of those things where you're so not paying attention to it as it's happening that the origin of it just completely gets lost, because it's just kind of one of those throwaway things where you're just kind of randomly browsing through videos. You see a video that catches your interest, you pop into it, and you're like, oh, that's interesting, that's kind of cool. Ooh, okay. And it turns out my wife is really into the bull riding stuff, so I don't know. I think it kind of started where I was showing her some of the Supercross stuff that I've been watching, because there was a channel that I was subscribed to that was heavy into that MX Bikes game that's available, which is, you know, it's pretty cool, but it got kind of boring for me really quick. So I didn't hang around for that channel for long, but not because the guy isn't good at what he does, but I don't know, his personality wasn't enough to keep me attached to the channel, and I quickly got bored with watching him play the game. So it's just one of those things where, you know, there's going to be people who like you and people who don't, and you have to be willing to accept that you can't make everybody happy. There's going to be people who like the way I sit here in the truck and talk about all of this different stuff. You know, I provide an alternative to some of the other YouTube content creators who get on here and play this game. My format's going to be slightly different, and it's going to appeal to slightly different people. And hopefully it'll be enough people to, you know, sustain the series for a long time. We can build up our... Why is my truck driving so slow? I have the upgraded engine in this thing. Oh, is it the sensor? Is the sensor getting me on these cars that are approaching me? It really shouldn't be. I wonder if there's a way to turn that off. I should probably look into that. So we're slowing down here to 45. I slowed down a little too hard. Oops. I should really get in the habit of just using my cruise control to do that until we get to the point where we're taking like a major turn like this over here. Because I slowed down way too hard. It's the only thing about using the controller is that you're gonna overcorrect on things from time to time. But that's only like a small percentage of your driving that you do. Most of the time, we're out here on the freeway and we're just, you know, cruising. So let's get on this interchange here. We're moving on to whatever this particular freeway is. But at least we're off that highway. Oh, we're on the 5. Very nice. Okay. So at least now we're off the little highway over there, and since we're up in Oregon, hopefully it's only going to let us go up to 60. But I mean, you know, it's another 5 miles an hour. I'm not going to complain too much about that. Yeah, truck 60. All right. Well, hopefully we'll get out of this little West Coast corridor at some point. We can start getting up into like 65 or even 70. Ooh. Unfortunately, I do not have the Texas DLC, so we're not going to be able to get out to where the speed limit goes up to like 80 miles an hour. Yeah, that sucks. I can hear you guys groaning already. It's like, oh man, I wish we could go 80. Pretty much everywhere, I don't know, not everywhere in California, but everywhere in, say, the Los Angeles to San Diego range of Southern California, the unofficial speed limit is basically 80 miles an hour. They post 65, but everybody just does 80, 85, something like that. Sometimes you'll be driving and, like when I was riding my bike, when I was riding bikes and I had one, I had a ZX14, and man, that thing was fast, and I would fly by cops and they would look over at me like they were doing 80 and I was doing like 90 down the freeway, and they would look over me as I passed, and you could see that they just didn't care. They just didn't care. I'd ride past and like they just look at me as I went by. And I was like, oh crap, they're gonna get me, but no, I just drive right by them, and they didn't care. Oh, speed limit went back down to 55. Why? Is it because we're going over this bridge here? Is our speed limit gonna pop back up, or are we stuck at 55 for the rest of this? Oh, you guys suck. The trucks are always... I think they did this on purpose, not necessarily because they care about how fast the trucks are going. They just want to make sure that the trucks are going slow enough that the cars can get around them. Because it seems kind of arbitrary to just always set the truck speed limit down 5 below everybody else. So it's clear that they want to force the trucks over into the right lane and keep them out of everybody's way. Which, as a when I'm driving a regular car, I'm pretty content for that to be the case, because I don't want to get stuck behind trucks any more than anybody else does. But when you're playing a simulator game like this, it kind of sucks. Kind of sucks to be forced to go much slower, or I'm going to get a ticket. In my personal time, when I was playing on my personal profile that wasn't like this, I would turn all the penalties off. It said it was going down to 50 miles an hour. I turned my cruise control down, but then it didn't change. So that's weird. Here we are up in Portland. I'm not sure. Okay, I definitely need to get over. You just got to get out of my way. And then it looks like we need to go Oh, okay. Well, that makes it easy because we can't go any other way other than over here. So that's convenient. It's very nice when they make it easy for you and you don't get lost in all these complex, crazy interchanges. Still got about an hour and a half left in-game time. So I'm guessing another 7 or so minutes. But we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so it does look like the speed limit did drop down to 50. I'm going to go ahead and get over more to the right so that we're not in the fast lanes. But I will stay here because I don't want any slow-moving cars on the right side to get in my way. Seems like a pretty reasonable thing, and it seems like what a lot of the truckers do because they don't want to get stuck with people merging onto the freeway or merging off of the freeway. So I'm going to follow their example. It's what I do in my personal. It's what I do in my personal vehicle if I'm not like in a hurry. If I'm just kind of driving down the road, I'll hang out in this lane right here so that I'm not slowing up the fast people, and I'm also not getting slowed down by the people getting on and off the freeway there. So we do. I think we do need to get over. Yeah, Astoria. I think that's our destination, right? Astoria? I don't remember. But we do need to exit to the left, and it looks like these 2 lanes here are going to be what do that. So we'll hang out in this lane, take the left over there, and continue on towards the destination. Not sure how I feel about left exits. I mean, it's kind of convenient sometimes, but then, you know, there's a lot of people who are in a hurry. Get to what's the speed? 45. I'm still trying to figure out my controls for the cruise control sometimes because every time I change it I have to rememorize what I was doing. Okay, down to an hour and 15 minutes. I'm not sure what that translates to. We have 59 miles, so yeah, definitely another like 5 minutes or so at least. Which means that, as usual, this is going to be a single load video, so that is what it is. 45. Still 45. Weren't we at 45 before, or did it change back to 50 or 55? Oop. Start stopping here. Okay. So it looks like the light's going to change for us pretty soon. I won't put a cut in. I generally try to pause the recording when we get to lights like this, but if it seems like it's going to go pretty quick, then I don't want to put the transition in there for no reason. Oh, that's a cool little junkyard over here. A little junkyard over here. I don't recall ever seeing those before. I'm sure they've been there, I just don't remember. I don't remember. Alright, get back up to 45 miles an hour. And then hopefully most of these cars will either go faster than us and get out of our way. I really don't want to have to slow down for these cars. Can we speed up? Sweet, okay. So now we're back up to 55. So we should have, you know, less than an hour to go in game time, which means we're only a few minutes away. A few minutes real time away. I like driving up here in Oregon sometimes because it's nice to be surrounded by trees again. I grew up in, you know, the south. I grew up in the southeast part of the country where there's trees and moisture and humidity and all of that stuff everywhere. And while I don't necessarily miss it that much, sometimes it's nice to just have trees. There's something about being out in the woods. I think it's the oxygen that they produce. You're standing right next to basically oxygen generators. And, you know, you have all that extra oxygen being pumped into your lungs because you're standing right in the middle of a big forest of oxygen generation, and, you know, oxygen makes you feel better. It makes you feel more energetic, more vital, more all of those things. So, Longview is this town that we're going to be driving through here in just a second. Don't imagine there's going to be anything interesting there, but it's there. Nice little lake over here. Mostly just trees and lakes and a bunch of moisture. One of my favorite shows of all time is Frasier, and that was based in Seattle, Washington. And tell you what, man, it rains a lot up there. It rains a lot up there. And they made a point of showing that on the show. It was raining a lot. He had a nice apartment, though. Must be nice to have that kind of money. But frankly, I don't know. I've reached a point in my life where money is just not a thing for me anymore. I want to make just enough. I've said this many times on this channel. I want to make just enough so that I can, you know, travel around in my RV And if I, that's kind of one of the main goals of this. Oops, gotta start slowing down. It's one of the main goals of this channel is just to get it making enough money that it can support taking my wife and I around in the travel trailer and going to visit places. Because, you know, I'm one of those people for whom retirement is not a thing. It's just not. I didn't do the things I needed to do when I was younger, and while I could start trying to do it now, you know, I'm in the second half of my life at this point. Trying to save up enough money where I'm going to be able to retire, you know, before it's very difficult for me to work at all is just unreasonable. So I need to find an income source that's going to allow me to be remote. And hopefully, you know, if I can build this channel up and establish enough of a presence online so that when I get older, you know, and especially if I can do this channel and then start a travel vlog or a travel vlog channel, if I can get enough people interested in that, then, you know, maybe that would be the thing that when I get older, people will continue to follow that as I, you know, get past the point where gaming is a viable thing for me at my age. Because at some point, there's not going to be anybody who wants to watch a 50 or 60-year-old dude playing video games. Oh, that's cool. They're showing the trees being cut down. That's cool. That's new. I've never seen that before. Was that part of the Oregon thing? Did I just not come back into a place where they were doing that? That's super cool. I just watched a tree come down. All right, anyways. So yeah, we're eventually going to get to a point. I'm eventually going to get to a point where I'm just way too old for anybody to want to watch me playing video games. It's going to be like, who's this old dude playing? I mean, I'm already kind of on the cusp there. I know that there's people my age who are probably interested in watching this kind of stuff, but yeah, no. There's going to come a point where I'm too old for this, and, you know, we'll have to switch over to something a little bit more adult. Let's see. I'm not sure where exactly I'm supposed to go. I think this way? It's hard to tell. Yeah, I think so. Man, we're having to go way... I thought we were dropping off cars. Aren't we dropping off cars? Yeah, we're dropping off cars. Oh, we're dropping off a loaded. No, we're dropping off cars. What's the deal here? I'm confused. Why are we bringing all of these cars and stuff back here? This is a very weird place for us to be going. It's a very weird place for there to be a dealership of some kind. I'm assuming that's why we're bringing these trucks back here, right? We're definitely struggling on this dirt. Need like a 4x4 transmission or something. Okay, so I don't want to go too much faster than 25 because I feel like the road here is going to damage the truck if I hit things too hard. This is kind of a weird one. I got to come up with a title that will make it clear that we're dealing with this kind of stuff right here, because I don't know. It's going to have to be some kind of off-roading with I don't know, I got to think about it. It's definitely going to include the word off-roading, because we're clearly off-roading. We are not on pavement right now. Okay. So yeah, this is very weird. So I guess the dealership that we're going to here, if it's a dealership, is probably on a paved road, but the GPS decided to take us down this dirt road here that passed a bunch of logging stuff that was going on. So the speed limit here is 25. No, it's all still dirt over here. This is weird. It's weird that we're taking... Okay, is this pavement? It looks like pavement. Okay, here we are. We're good. Fortunately, we don't really have to worry about traffic too much because we're way over here on a back road. So that was weird. Okay, so I got to come up with a title for that. Something related to off-roading, because we were definitely not on pavement, and we weren't on like gravel or anything like that, and it was rough. It was pretty rough. It wasn't that difficult to drive on, but our drive axles were struggling. Our drive tires were struggling. So are we turning? Are we turning in here? I mean, we're definitely turning in here, but I'm not sure where the drop-off point is. It's in the back corner somewhere. So I guess we'll pull... I have a feeling that we're gonna have to back it in from this direction over here. So let's pull up over here. We'll start getting ourselves kind of lined up to back in this way, because I'm pretty sure... Yeah, okay. So we'll pull this way, kind of get ourselves lined up from this direction. Hopefully. Okay, so there's no traffic. We don't have to worry about traffic or anything. Let's get the steering camera turned off. I'm a little bit... I don't want to hit this trailer, but... Okay, so there's our parking area. Drive the trailer, not the truck. Get ourselves lined up with the little icons there, and it should be relatively easy to get in since we were able to basically just straight back it. A little bit of blindness going on as we were. Come on, throttle, respond, please. A little bit of blindness going on with that, but yeah, that's not too bad. So we'll get that dropped off. Hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click that like button so the YouTube algorithm knows that you did and sends the video out to more viewers. Only through viewer participation can channels like mine grow, so please click that like button, not the dislike button. I think a lot of people are accidentally clicking that button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already, so that when the next video comes out, it will show up in your video feed and you'll be able to watch it as soon as it becomes available. Speaking of that, channel members do get early access to my videos, so be sure to click that join button just below your viewer so that it will bring up the list of perks that you will get should you choose to become a contributing member, and you can decide if it's right for you. Again, thank you very much for your time. I hope you guys had lots of fun, and be sure to come back for the next one.